Let's talk about the future. That's the past. We can't change that. Let's talk about the future. Get them out of the defeated mindset. The past is full of problems. Get past it. Stewardship. Okay? Now, this is where we begin addressing the reason they gave you originally. I don't want to get rich. I just want to donate more. I want to tithe more. I want to give to charity. Perfect. This is where stewardship comes in. But you can't be a good steward of something that does not exist. So if you don't have $1 million, you can't steward $1 million. So you got to make the money first before you can steward the money. Now, that means we have to practice good money habits while we're making money. Habit number 1, we're going to invest no less than 10% of your gross earnings every year, annually. 10% of your gross earnings are going to be spent or invested on education. So by now, at this point in the conversation, you know that they make $85,000 a year. So this year, they're going to spend $8,500 in education. How much money do you want to make next year? You're now part of our program. We're teaching you our systems, our processes. Our first goal for you is $250,000 in cash. How much would you like to have by this time next year? You make 80 grand a year. How much you want? Well, if I make 80 plus 250, then it's 330. Okay. Then if we make $330,000 next year, we're going to invest 10% of that in education. That's $33,000 that we're going to invest in education. How much you want to make in year 3? Well, I would imagine I could double it. Great, let's double it. That's let's change the number. $667,000. So we're going to invest $66,700 in education. Now, education is mastermind groups. Education is seminars. It's associations. It's REI clubs. It's all of those things. Personally, I invest over $250,000 in education and masterminds annually. And that's been true my entire career. I have been following this since day 1. Because successful people are smart enough to know that they're not very smart. I know a lot, but there's still so much to learn. And if I'm able to accumulate this much wealth with what I know, imagine what I could accumulate if I added some additional knowledge. Imagine if I added some additional associates to my sphere of influence. I hang out 4 times a year with the top 300 real estate investors in the nation because I invest 10%. That's stewardship. Now, the genius behind this, you guys, is what are we doing here? We're getting them thinking into the future. We got to get them thinking into the future. I don't care about your today. I care about your tomorrow. What does tomorrow look like? Let's build this out. Let's give you a vision. Proverbs says, without a vision, the people will perish. When you end your phone calls with a client, do they have a vision for their future? Do they have a vision for their life? Do they have a vision for their family? That's your job. You're the authority. You've got to guide them to think bigger and beyond their current terrible circumstances. And do not buy into their story. Woe is me. Yeah, that's really terrible. What are we going to do now? Let's talk about the future. That's the past. We can't change that. Let's talk about the future. Get them out of the defeated mindset. The past is full of problems. Get past it.